Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in Milan, Ohio, the youngest of 7 children in a modest, hard-working family. His childhood was marked by curiosity and mischief. He was often described as a restless boy, forever taking things apart to see how they worked. When he was 7, the family moved to Port Huron, Michigan, where his mother, Nancy Elliott Edison, recognized his endless questions and fading attention span. She withdrew him from school after just a few months and began teaching him herself, nurturing his eager mind with books on science and history. By age 12, young Edison was selling newspapers and snacks on the Grand Trunk Railway that passed through Port Huron. He converted an empty baggage car into a makeshift laboratory, setting up jars of chemicals on wooden crates. There he conducted early experiments, sometimes dangerously so, with everything from explosives to battery acids. In 1862, tragedy struck. His firstborn child, an infant daughter, died in his care when he accidentally scalded her with bath water. The grief marked a turning point. Edison withdrew from school and home, boarding full-time on the train, where he read voraciously and sold candy to passengers, earning both pocket money and hours of solitude to explore scientific papers. At 15, Edison arrived in Detroit with the proceeds of his railway enterprise and a burning ambition to become a telegraph operator. He succeeded and, in 1868, at just 21, filed his first patent for an improvement to the telegraph system. He moved to Boston that year and soon to New York City, where he developed a multiplex telegraph capable of sending multiple messages simultaneously over a single wire. Western Union, the telegraph giant, bought the rights for $10,000, a small fortune for Edison and seed money for his first laboratory. In 1876, Edison took the next great leap by establishing Menlo Park, New Jersey, a sprawling invention factory on 8 acres of land. There he assembled a team of skilled machinists, chemists, and engineers. Within months, he and his collaborators had devised an improved stock ticker, the first practical device to record market activity. Yet Edison's hunger for a transformative invention drove him onward. He envisioned a universal telephony system, an electric speaking machine that could transmit the human voice. For years of experiments produced the phonograph in 1877, a device that recorded sound vibrations as indentations on tinfoil wrapped around a cylinder, then replayed them. When Edison recited "Mary Had a Little Lamb" into his machine, it played back his own voice, a marvel that stunned the world and earned him the nickname the Wizard of Menlo Park. Buoyed by the phonograph's success, Edison turned his attention to electric light. At the time, gas and oil lamps illuminated most homes, but they were dangerous and dim. Edison believed a safe, economical electric lamp could revolutionize life after dark. He and his team tested thousands of materials for the filament that would glow without burning up. In 1879, a carbonized bamboo filament proved durable enough to last over 1,200 hours. Edison patented his lamp and, in 1882, flipped the switch on the Pearl Street station in Lower Manhattan, the world's first commercial central power plant, supplying electric lighting to customers in a 1-square-mile district. Cities across America and Europe soon followed, heralding the age of electrification. Edison's achievements were not without controversy. He engaged in fierce disputes over patent rights, famously clashing with Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse in the War of Currents over whether alternating current, AC, or direct current, DC, was the safer, superior method for power transmission. Edison championed DC, but eventually AC's ability to carry electricity over long distances won out. Yet even in defeat, he continued to innovate, improving electrified streetcars and building early power distribution systems. Menlo Park's success begot a larger laboratory in West Orange, New Jersey, in 1887. There, Edison's growing staff, now hundreds strong, pursued projects spanning the electric vote recorder, the dictating machine for business correspondence, the alkaline storage battery, and even early motion picture cameras and projectors. Edison founded the Edison Manufacturing Company to produce phonographs and motion pictures, eventually merging it into the larger General Electric in 1892, a corporate titan still operating today. In the first years of the 20th century, Edison focused on mining iron ore in northern New Jersey, hoping to develop profitable ore concentration methods, and later on cement production. These ventures, however, were less successful than his earlier triumphs, and his financial fortunes began to wane. Yet his inventive spirit never dimmed. He continued filing patents, nearly 1,100 in total over his lifetime, across diverse fields including chemicals, ore milling, and motion pictures. Edison's personal life was as full as his professional one. In 1871, he married Mary Stilwell. They had 3 children before Mary's death in 1884. 2 years later, Edison wed Mina Miller, with whom he had 3 more children. He adored Christmas, often serenading his wife with renditions of carols on the phonograph. He was also an avid reader, a fan of Shakespeare, and a proponent of self-education, famously declaring that he never went to college but had amassed an enormous personal library of technical and literary works. Despite his fame, Edison remained a hands-on inventor. He could be found at his laboratory's bench, sleeves rolled up, working late into the night. His motto was "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." He believed persistence and hard work were the true secrets to innovation. Visiting scientists remembered his cheerfulness, his booming laugh, and his ability to inspire loyalty among colleagues. Rather than waiting for sudden flashes of insight, Edison designed systematic research programs tracing back to Menlo Park, where multiple approaches ran in parallel until a practical solution was found. As the 20th century dawned, Edison's lights, phonographs, and motion pictures had already transformed daily life. Though he never fully realized his aspiration for a practical electric automobile, despite decades of battery research, his legacy endured in the structures he built and the industries he spawned. In 1928, as his health declined, he traveled to Fort Myers, Florida, to see his close friend and Sunken Road property. On October 18, 1931, Thomas Edison quietly passed away at age 84, leaving behind a legacy unmatched in its breadth and impact. At his funeral, President Herbert Hoover eulogized him as the greatest inventor of modern times, while newspapers around the world hailed the passing of the man who had harnessed light and sound and set in motion the age of electrification and mass communication. His laboratories at Menlo Park and West Orange became historic landmarks, testaments to the power of imagination paired with unrelenting resolve. From a curious boy in Ohio who sold candy on trains to a fearless pioneer whose inventions reshaped the modern world, Thomas Edison's story is a testament to relentless experimentation and unwavering belief in the power of applied science. He wired cities with light, gave voice to the silent world, and captured motion itself. His life reminds us that invention is not the province of solitary genius alone but of teams working in concert, guided by a leader whose dream is only as vast as his determination to see it through.